this segment, we're going to examine whether line of business system developers can leverage AgilePoint's common application logic and common data model layer to design apps which work natively with their underlying systems rather than writing line of business system specific code. The ability for AgilePoint applications to be accessed through familiar systems is one of the biggest advantages of AgilePoint's common application logic and data models. With nearly all other low-code or no-code platforms in the market, teams will start working in silos. You may try to move your entire application development to these new systems, but your line of business system application developers cannot use this to build apps for their line of business system. And hence, organizations end up with multiple low-code or no-code platforms which are use case specific. As an example, if my organization were to adopt the Power Platform to build apps, my Salesforce developer cannot build Salesforce apps using the Power Platform, as these apps would not be natively available in Salesforce. As a result, they would end up building applications with Apex classes, Visualforce, and Lightning components. Now, the same example could be extended to ServiceNow, SAP, and the list goes on. This support does not meet the needs of business teams, and as a result, the adoption of some of these platforms is limited to only specific teams. AgilePoint's codeless architecture means that there is no custom code or script generation, and as a result, the output of these apps is purely HTML5 and jQuery. Any app built within AgilePoint can be natively embedded within the system of your choice without needing any iframes and will respect the existing security model already in place within that system. We've done this for more than a dozen portals over the years, things like Salesforce, SharePoint, NetSuite, WordPress, Drupal, and various PLM softwares. This even extends to custom portals like those you might build in ASP.NET, JSP, PHP, React, Angular, and again, the list goes on. Moreover, the platform's event-driven architecture makes it possible to listen for events occurring in these external systems and respond to them. As a result, your line of business system developer can use the same platform as the rest of the organization to build apps for their respective systems. This also means that you're not locking yourself into expensive customization done in these underlying systems and have the option to easily replace them in the future. Now let's take a look at this feature. So for this, let's head on over to AgilePoint. Okay, so now that we've switched gears over to AgilePoint, as you can see here, I have modules like Work Center, where I can access my tasks and launch applications, as well as take action against any items I may have planned for my day. But you'll notice that the same can be true here within the context of Salesforce. Now, as you're seeing here, this is a standard Salesforce URL, but I've brought the AgilePoint Task Management or Work Center experience directly within my system of record. Now, it extends beyond the Work Center experience to the applications themselves. So as you're seeing here, I have my responsive HTML5 form embedded natively within Salesforce. And because of AgilePoint's event-driven architecture, it also means that I can listen for events in external systems and launch a process as a result. So as an example, I have an opportunity page here. And what you're going to see is when I click on workflow history, you'll see that there are no process instances running against this particular object. And what's more is I'm using an external form, in this case Salesforce, in order to launch my business process. Now what I've done here is I've set up a rule where when the opportunity stage changes to closed one, to go ahead and launch a process as a result. So after we save this and go back to workflow history, we're going to see that there is now a process running against this particular record. So the entire experience has been brought into my external system. Now, while this is great and can help drive adoption by bringing AgilePoint into the systems that are already in place within your organization, as we mentioned earlier, these same applications are available through AgilePoint's external portal as well. So this can actually help you optimize your user licensing. If I'm a casual user who only needs to go into Salesforce to check something periodically, as an example, I can forego the Salesforce license and simply use the AgilePoint applications to make the approvals or to capture the data that I might need.